Hello class, Mom Says here, signing on. This video lecture teaches you about Java methods, how to define methods, and how to use methods in Java programs with the help of examples. Let's begin. A method is a block of code which only runs when it is called. You can pass data known as parameters into a method. Methods are used to perform certain actions and they are also known as functions. Now, why use methods? Simply to reuse code. Define the code once and use it many times. In short, to simplify programmer's task. Again, a method is a block of code that performs a specific task. It's like dividing a complex problem into smaller chunks, which could make your program easy to understand and reusable. As mentioned in the previous lecture in Java, there are two types of methods. We have the user-defined methods. These are the one we create our own method based on our requirements. We also have the standard library methods. These are built-in methods in Java that are available to use. Let's first recall about user-defined methods. This is an example of a user-defined method. In declaring a Java method, the syntax to declare a method is, look at your screen here. So we have the return type, method name, and the method body. The return type method, the return type here, it specifies what type of value a method returns. For example, if a method has an int return type, then it returns an integer value. Just like an example here below. So we use int here as the return type. But if the method does not return a value, its return type is void. So that's the default. For the name of our method in our example here, we have the add numbers as the name of our method. The name of our method, it is an identifier that is used to refer the particular method in a program. For the method body, that includes the programming statements that are used to perform some task. This is now the command we instructed to the compiler of what to do and how it should behave. As you can see, the method body is enclosed inside the curly braces. Look at the example here. In this example, the name of the method is add numbers and the return type is int. So this is a very simple example of a user-defined method that is created by you, programmer. Let's have more examples of how to declare a Java method. Again, to create a Java method, a method must be declared within a class. It is defined with the name of the method followed by the parentheses. Java provides some predefined methods such as system.out.println, but you can also create your own methods to perform certain actions. So we have here the example. Create a method inside my class. So we have here public class, my class, static void method. So my method here is the name of the method. And static means that the method belongs to the my class and not an object of the my class. And the void here means that this method does not have a return value. Compared to the previous one earlier, it is not void. It has a return value which is an integer. Now to call a method in Java, write the method's name followed by two parentheses and a semicolon. Here. So this is the example. As you can see in our example, my method is used to print a text. So that is the action when it is called. We have here my method and how it should behave. Since we use a built-in method here, system.out.println, and we instructed the compiler to display a just got executed. So that is how our user-defined method named my method will behave. Okay. As you can see in our example, we have here our method name my method inside the class named my class, and in our main class, this is where we call our method, and that is how we declare it inside the main class. And what is our expected output here? Obviously, the task we declare in the my method, which is to display the text I just get executed. So when we run the program, we will have this output, obviously. A method can also be called multiple times, as you can see in our example here. Again, we still have the user-defined method, which is my method, inside the class named my class. And in our main program, we call the my method 3 times. As a result, we have this output. I just got executed display 3 times. Now let's have another example of method calling. In here, look at your screen, we have created a method named add. Okay, in this line. The method takes 2 parameters, A and B. Notice the line int result equals opt.add numbers, open close parenthesis, num1, num2. Here. Here we have called the method by passing 2 arguments, num1 and num2. Since the method is returning some value, we have stored the value in the result variable. Note that the method is not static, hence we are calling the method using the object of the class. And the Java method return type, as you can see, a Java method may or may not return a value to the function call. We use the return statement to return any value. So for example, int add, open close parenthesis, return sum. Here we are returning the variable sum. Since the return type of the function is int, the sum variable should be int type. Otherwise, it will generate an error. Let's analyze our program again. So look at your screen. So we have here the package name and the method, and our class name kahandap method UI, and inside of that class we have the user-defined method, which is add in this line, and then we have two parameters here, the A and the B, with the variable type int, and then we add the two variable, and the result will be followed by our variable sum. So that is how our user-defined method will behave. Again, in this example, our user-defined method named add. As you can see here in our main class, this is now we call our user-defined method, which is add. But notice that we instantiate it first, the class here, which holds our method, the user-defined method. We instantiate it first to make it an object so that we can call that object. And that is why we have the result as an output here. We have the result, sum is 39, since we already have declared an initial value here in our main program, the num1, which comes from the parameter int a, and the num2 from the parameter int b, and we give an initial value for num1, which is 11, and num2, which is 28. Following the formula a plus b, or 11 plus 28, and that is 39. That is why we have the output, sum is 39. Talking about method parameters. Method parameters in Java is a value accepted by the method. A method can also have any number of parameters. We have here on your screen as an example, method with two parameters, int add, and we have the int a and the int b. These are the two parameters. Now we can also create a method without the parameter. But if a method is created with parameters, we need to pass the corresponding values while calling the method. So for example, calling the method with two parameters, add numbers 11, 28. That is calling the method. And what is method overloading? With methods overloading, Multiple methods can have the same name with different parameters. But in here in our example, consider this example which have two methods that add numbers of different type. So we have here plus method int, so the type is integer, and we have another plus method double, which is the type is double. So they are of two different types, int and double. Instead of defining two methods that should do the same thing, it is better to overload one. Note that multiple methods can have the same name as long as the number and or type of parameters are different. Again, our parameters here, in the plus method int, we have the int x and the int y. And in the plus method double, our parameters is double x and double y. As a result, because they are of different type, look at our sample output here. We have the integer output and we have the double output. Now let us recall the so-called built-in method. This is actually the standard library methods. These are built-in methods in Java that are readily available for use. These standard libraries come along with the Java class library, or also known as JCL, in the Java archive *.jar file with the JVM and JRE. So for example, print open close parenthesis, that is a method of java.io print string. With the print method prints the string inside quotation marks. Another example of the built-in method is the square root open close parenthesis. Here, it is a method of math class. It returns the square root of a number. And this is our working example, as what you see on the screen. So the method is sqrt, and the class which holds the method, the built-in method, is the math class. So that is why we declare it this way, math.sqrt. And then this is what we are trying to solve, the square root of 4. When we run the program, of course we have the output, square root of 4 is 2.0 as expected. So what are the advantages of using methods? The main advantage is code reusability. We can write a method once and use it multiple times. That makes the programmer task easier. We do not have to rewrite the entire code each time. Think of it as write once, reuse multiple times. Another advantage of the methods is methods make code more readable and easier to debug. That is the most important thing. A friendly reminder, just keep moving forward, upward. And that ends our discussion about method. Watch out for more video lectures. God bless and stay safe, everyone. Thank you for watching. This is Mom Says, signing off.